Hello everyone, my name is Michelle and thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you could, please give the video a like before exiting and please consider subbing. Today we'll be watching the second episode of Game of Thrones. Hello beautiful people. We're back at it with the second episode of Game of Thrones, and we ended the first episode off with Jaime yeeting Bran off the watchtower on some like I hope the fall kills you type ish. And we also learned in that same moment that not only are Jaime and Cersei twins, they're incestuous lovers. Okay, that's a choice. Anyways, the first episode was excellent. It was solid. I mean, it was as great as I think any adaptation from a book to a, well, not a TV show, but like those first opening POVs. It was great. I really liked how they adapted. I think the biggest change when I think about it is I was about to say Cersei. Catelyn's stance on Ned going to the south to become Hand. I think that was probably the biggest change. I can't think of anything else. And I guess like the others, the way they're presented is also pretty different. That opening, they kind of removed the I don't want to call it a fight because it doesn't really qualify as a fight, but the skirmish, the indulgence the others showed in that moment. I think that part was removed as well. That was a change. And then Catelyn, yeah. So that was it. But other than that, everything felt really authentic. And I really do enjoy, I think my favorite part of it, I mean, I don't want to be a cliche. Is it really cliche though to say Ned Stark is probably your favorite character? Because yeah, we meet so many, but I still love Ned. I think it's because once you get into the story, it's all downhill. Like you don't really meet, well, you do, but they're so few and far between decent people. And when I say decent, I also mean decent for our like modern sensibilities. To find someone that is decent enough to like it matches up, it's, you know, it's rare and it's far and in between that you meet these characters. But Ned, I don't know, when I first watched it I was like, Ned was clearly just a plot device to get the his children's stories kick off really when he dies, so he's kind of just there and then bye-bye. But when you read his stories, his POV, I'm like, oh my god, this man was just so good, like truly a good-hearted man. I'm like, oh my god. And you kind of get the hint that he's just tortured, like especially during his time in the black cells. Oh my god, Ned, I can't. That's a character that you have to read the books to truly enjoy Ned, in my opinion. Like you can love Ned, the Ned you get in the show, because I feel like they do a really good job with him anyway. Sean Bean really brought such heart to him, and especially the fatherly love that he showed Arya. I remember one particular scene where he's like, and who are you looking to stick with needle, your sister? Like there is just something so heartwarming in that scene. So I think Sean Bean brought Ned to life perfectly. But in order to truly love and appreciate Ned, I think you have to read his POVs and just get into his head. Oh, Ned. I'm a Ned lover. I'm a Ned stan. I love Ned down. Yes, do I think he did not make the wisest of choices? Yes, do I think there were moments where I'm like, Ned, literally you had Renly like point out point by point by point by point what's about to happen, and you just oh, Ned. Okay, that's enough of me crying over Ned. I will have plenty of more time to do that later. Anyways, grab a snack, grab a drink, whatever it is you like to do when you want your favorite reaction. Just get comfortable and let's get to.
You need to drink, child. The Dothraki have two things in abundance: grass and horses. People can't live on grass.
Oh, Dany. Just the fear when she saw him. Easy. She literally wanted to like unalive herself out there. Every night he would just mount her. Like she'd get like she'd have to ride all day, and she wasn't used to riding on horseback, and then get ridden all night roughly. She just wanted to out.
What did Ned Stark want you for? Buying from a slaver?
Selling to one.
Selling.
Under my reign, you won't be punished for such nonsense. You can rest assured of that.
Oh God, you moron. Every time I see Viserys, I just keep thinking, you got what you deserved.
Better looking bitches than you're used to, Uncle.
And this one, you got what you deserved too. In fact, one could say too kind.
Before you go, you will call on Lord and Lady Stark and offer your sympathies.
And chew this little fish.
Little brother.
Beloved siblings.
God. She just looked at him with such contempt. All he did was walk in.
Apparently not.
The Maester says the boy may live.
Oh God, their faces. Like, could you telegraph it? Could you be more obvious? He knows.
And go celibate? The whores would go begging from dawn to Casterly Rock. No, I just want to stand on top of the wall and piss off the edge of the world.
I will say this. You want to know what made me cry in those last few episodes? The brothers. Oh my God, I cried during their last scene. And not when he found him conveniently under some rocks, but in the tent when he got himself conveniently caught by Dany's people. That scene, I cried. How much my family hates me, so you know. Jamie's face just staring at him. Oh no, Mom is going through it.
I lost my first boy. Little black-haired beauty. It's the last thing you need to hear right now.
God, Cersei is something else. Oh my God. This woman is conniving.
I pray to the mother every morning and night that she return your child to you. Perhaps this time she'll listen.
I can't remember. Did Cersei ever give birth to one of Robert's kids? Because I could have sworn she would have gotten rid of them. I can't remember. Did Cersei ever I could have sworn she killed him off in utero. She's like, oh, absolutely not. Me give birth to Robert's children? That's not happening. I can't recall if that was true. I don't remember this scene, but I don't remember if Cersei ever gave birth to one of Robert's kids.
Watch. Nymeria, gloves.
I have something for you, and it has to be packed very carefully.
Big Dog, I can't help but smile every time I see them. Oh my goodness, I wish we got more of little Arya and Jon. Oh, the way they think about each other all the time. She was perfect casting for Arya.
How's it feel?
Into them. Oh. Oh God.
I came to say goodbye to Bran.
You said it.
Listen, I had to forgive Catelyn in this moment. Say, you know what?
Be here when you wake up.
You're grieving. You're going through it. But if there was a moment I wanted to choke Catelyn out, it was here, because she was so like, oh my gosh, she was so vindictive to him. Like, damn, just keep your mouth. It takes less energy to talk. Just let the boy go. You don't gotta say anything.
I want you to leave. 17 years ago, you rode off with Robert Baratheon. You came back a year later with another woman's son.
I have no choice.
You do have a choice, and you've made it.
I'm gonna use this as a perfect out. Like, you know, I never really wanted the job, and now my son is hurt. I gotta stay, Robert. Considering how adamant Ned was about not wanting to go to King's Landing and be Robert's hand, he could have used Bran's injury as an out.
I know it's a farewell snow.
And you, Stark.
see each other. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh.
It was great honor serving in the Night's Watch.
The lies you
Starks have
tell.
run the wall for thousands of years.
The lies you tell to him, Ned.
And you are a Stark. You might not have my name, but you have my blood.
Is my mother alive? Does she know about me, where I am, where I'm going? Does she care?
Oh,
The next time we see each
John.
other, we'll talk about your mother.
Oh God, they never saw each other again.
Your bastard's mother.
Weiler.
That's it. Must have been a
No,
rare wench to
she
make
was
Lord Eddard Stark forget his honour.
she fed him,
What
John.
she looked like.
Daenerys Targaryen has wed some Dothraki horse lord. What of it? She's little more than a child. Tell me we're not speaking of this.
Unspeakable to
And
you.
Ned's like, listen, I want no parts of this. Y'all so antsy to murder children.
It said he has 100,000 men in his hoard.
Even 1 million Dothraki are no threat to the realm, as long as they remain on the other side of the narrow sea.
There are still those in the Seven Kingdoms who call me usurper. The Targaryen boy crosses. Join him.
I mean, by technical, isn't that bad to be called yourself a usurper? You did kind of overthrow the previous king and took the throne, so it's like you better own it, Robert. I don't know. All I can think is if Robert. Oh God, I don't need to see this. Jesus. I never noticed Ghost in the scene when I first watched it.
Rapers. They were given a choice, no doubt. Castration or the wall. Just choose the knife.
Can you imagine? That's how
Not
horrible it
impressed by
is
your
there.
new brother?
Why'd you read so much?
Look at me and tell me what you see.
Is this a trick?
What you see is a dwarf. If I had been born a peasant, they might have left me out in the woods to die. Alas, I was born a Lannister of Casterly Rock. My father was the hand of the king for 20 years.
Until your brother killed that king.
Yes. Until my brother killed him. Life is full of these little ironies.
I think that was good choice of dialogue, actually. The way they reworked that
I must do my
to make it more
house, wouldn't you agree?
conversational by having John break that moment up a bit, because Tyrion's the one who says, "Until my brother killed that king," but they had John say it. That's good. I love that.
The Night's Watch protects the realm.
Ah, yes, yes. Against grumpkins and snarks. You're a smart boy. You don't believe that nonsense.
Oh, Tyrion, it's not nonsense. Not at all. It's all so real.
Everything's better with some wine.
I love how George R. R. Martin put, like, the threat is, he didn't make it, like, how can I put, like, it's not in your head and you're wondering, oh God, is it? Like, the amount of times people are saying it, this must be real. Like, no, he, in the very first 10 minutes, he said, no, this is real. There is this greater threat. And this entire time, you're just watching these idiots, well, not idiots, but you get what I'm saying, like, running around fighting wars, and it's like, no, the real threat is to the north, and it's coming.
You want to know how much this royal visit has cost us?
Talk to Poole about it.
Poole went south with Lord Stark.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, hold on.
We need a new steward.
I think his name is Vaon. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Rickon needs you. He's 6. He doesn't know what's happening. He follows me around all day, clutching my leg, crying.
Close the windows. I can't stand it. Please make them stop.
Oh, Mama. Mama's going through it.
Fire.
I will say, I wish they kept
Stay here, I'll
the
come back.
moment of Rob saying, I need you to, like, oh, Rob. In that moment, he's like, he's trying to hold it all together. Like, Rickon, the entire family's gone, and he thinks everyone's left. And, you know, Rob's like, I need you too. The Valyrian steel into her hand. Oh god. Doing real quick about these dire wolves. And she started laughing too. Oh man. She's like, after that, she's like, you know what? Keep these direwolves close. Anyone that the direwolf doesn't like, I don't want them anywhere near you. Plain and simple. That's how it works from now on.
You told me the moon was an egg, Khaleesi. That once there were 2 moons in the sky.
She's so damn
but one
beautiful.
was too close to the
Oh
sun
my
and it kept
god.
from the heat. Before your brother bought me for you. First,
That's... Yeah, no. No. I mean, 9 to 12, that's not that big of a leap. Well, I mean, for them it is.
It'll take 3 years. No.
She's like, listen, I need to figure out how to make this stop hurting. I think this is when she started to kind of like take control over her own life. And in this case, it's like, I can't survive any more of this. That's right. She did find like that one strand of hair, and I'm like, okay, I guess that works. I mean, I feel like it wasn't necessary to turn Catelyn into like some PI investigator with her like I mean, I guess retracing the steps and just going over what Bran went through maybe brought comfort or like peace. Because I know she, after that entire incident, she like slept for days. And then she woke up, she's like, you know what? Sorry for everything I was previously, but I am full on it. Like, she admitted that checking out was not the best thing to do. And Mama said, I am on it from here on in. Yeah, see, that felt a little too convenient. Like, it's so, like you just see wind blowing. Like, her strand of hair stayed there. I don't know why she couldn't just tell them about the letter she got from Lysa like she did.
Fell from that tower. I think he was thrown.
And speaking about that letter, why did no one speak up about that damn letter? Stannis and Ned are trifling.
I murder an innocent child, unless he saw something he wasn't meant to see.
Saw what, my lady?
I don't know.
The blade is Valyrian steel, the handle dragon bone. Someone gave it to him.
If it's what they want...
If it comes to that, you know I'll stand behind
What?
you.
Is there going to be a battle in the Godswood? Huh? Easily words of war.
I'll ride to King's Landing.
No. There must always be a Stark in Winterfell.
Well, what about Bran?
He's like, hello, Brandon Rick on me. The way they just love their mother and their father. I think it's just such a reflection of what kind of parents they were. Like, could they have done more to prepare their kids for how awful the world is? Sure, but I mean, it's hard to prepare your children for something that you yourself can't see. Like, I don't think Ned and Catelyn saw them being this horrible. Like, I don't think they saw that for themselves. So how are they supposed to teach their children to be mindful of these awful people they're going to be around? They couldn't when they didn't even know what they were facing themselves. And as for this damn letter, I say Stannis is trifling because he knew Robert's life was in danger. He knew something was off there and he still took off. And Ned didn't let Robert know that his life was like, yo, someone's plotting on you, Ned. Robert, I mean, yes, someone's probably always plotting on the king, but who might be plotting on you could be your wife.
No, Khaleesi.
Top two.
You must look in his eyes always.
Bunch of trifling people. His best friend and his brother.
It is said that Erigenia of Lys could...
He's like, my face. This is a relationship that always left me feeling so conflicted. I feel like it's not a linear relationship because you look at it from how Dany had to kind of like how she had to approach it, and then you look at it from the sense that how old was she? Maybe 13. Like, you look at it through modern sensibilities, like, absolutely not. Like, she doesn't really have a choice in any of this. It's like, if she doesn't figure out a way to navigate this marriage, she'll die out there, which is the expectation for her to not survive this. And I think loving him and sexually finding some kind of common ground was just a means of survival. And then there's the whole romanticization of that moment, or just the relationship. Or I think it's not a straight line. It's not a straight answer. Like, it's like making the best of what you got because you have no other choice, and then somewhere along the way you start to look at the bright side of things, I guess.
Aria! Ow! Go away!
Your sister. Butcher's boy who wants to be a knight, eh?
Joffrey's such a little shit. Oh my god. Ow, leave the boy be. Can you imagine you just going about your life and this little shit comes along and then you're dead, and then the Hound laughing like, yeah, he ran but he can't get far. God, this is awful. Jesus, Joffrey. Should have gone for the jugular like Summer did that assassin, Nymeria.
No. No.
Can I just say, Macy Williams, oh my goodness. Such a little actress.
Why was my daughter not brought to me at once?
Your girl and that butcher's boy attacked my son.
That's not true. She just bit him a little.
Should have went for the neck.
Sansa, come here, darling.
That's right. It was okay. Yeah, Ned knew exactly what had happened because Sansa told him, and he told. I think when he came in, he told Jory to go get Sansa, so she could tell the truth, something like that.
Everything happened so fast. I didn't see.
Liar!
Jesus. Arya's hands are E for everyone.
You let that little girl disarm you.
I think Renly said that, but yes. I think Robert kicked Renly out when he said that. He laughed the hell off at Joffrey. Like, I think everybody knew Joffrey was lying. Like, I feel like Robert knew. Renly definitely knew.
He doesn't mean lady, does he? Stop them! Don't let them do it! Please, please! It wasn't lady!
Is this your command?
Punk. Well, nah. The Lannisters just have him by the gonads.
The wolf is of the north.
Oh, Ned. I wish
She
you were
deserves better than the butcher.
more willing to do the trickery. God, Joffrey is so damn horrible. God, and Arya's just staring. You can see her. Look at her face like, oh man, I'm making my list now. Before I even know I'm gonna make a list, but I'm making a list. Oh no, and Micah.
The butcher's boy. You rode him down.
Is it just me, or is anyone else in love with the way Sean B says boy? Like, I don't know why, but there's this way he says boy. Like, the accent to it. I love it. Or is that just me? Am I just a weirdo? I am a weirdo, but you know. Oh no, lady. Oh. And I think Ned does come to regret. I think there's a part in it that wishes he had just let Lady go. When he finds out about Summer saving Bran and how Summer just protected. Oh no. Oh, and her little dreaming baby. Oh God, I can't. Oh no. You know, as morbid as that is, I am curious. Did he like slice Lady's throat open, or did he break her neck? Because I'm like, it sounds like it's a broken neck, but he pulled the knife. I don't know if this is morbid for me. I'm just curious. Morbid curiosity. There you go. Oh, man. Oh, lady. I do wonder what that means in terms of the book for Arya's story, because because at this point, you know, that whole line in this episode, who says it? I think it's Jon that says to Robb that you Starks are hard to kill. And I mean, you kind of want to say, no, they're pretty easy, but I'm like, I don't think Starks are easy to kill. Oh, I completely forgot about Catelyn Tully Stark. Because what, it's Ned, it's Catelyn, and it's Robb. But for the most part, I mean, the rest, like, you got Rickon, Jon says he's not a Stark, but you got Rickon, you got Jon, you got Arya, you got who am I forgetting? Sansa. So I think, well, I mean, it's not. I mean, 4 is more than 3. So are the Starks really that easy to kill? I mean, it's close to half of the Starks are already dead in the story. So yeah. I guess yeah. Yeah, y'all are pretty easy to kill, I guess. But anyways, yeah, I don't know if Lady dying, because she's the only one of the direwolves that are dead now, at least in the story thus far. I'm talking about the books. I don't know if that means Sansa will die. I feel like there's a part of Sansa that dies with Lady, given how, I mean, the show did, if there's one of the biggest failures of the show, that, I mean, there's certain things that the show just can't, like, I don't fault the show for omitting certain storylines at all, because I feel like it's okay in a book, and even then sometimes I feel like the book is too much at times. I'm like, do we really need all of this? Sometimes it feels bloated, but for a TV show, you can't, there's no possible way you can really include all of these characters. I mean, the cast is big enough. So of course, when you omit certain characters, certain plot lines are automatically gonna have to get dropped. So I don't fault the show. I'm like, for the most part, I'm not hard on it for the, I would not have had a problem with the way the show ended if they had taken their time to flesh it out. Like, I don't feel like the show, like the show's greatest, or like its egregious, like, thing that you can knock it for is the lack of time they took to flesh out these moments, or like really connect A to B to C to D to E. That's the only thing. But in terms of the direction they went with, I don't have a problem with it. Now, in terms of storylines that maintain in the books, I do wonder if Lady's death signifies, like, I don't know, it means something, because she's, at this point, she's the only one who doesn't have her direwolf still living. She's not the only one who's not I mean, yes, Robb and Grey Wind are dead, but they die together, like, not together, but at the same time, they died the same night. So, you know, it's like, it's not like Lady dying and then Sansa having to go on and live without her direwolf. It's like, it's not the same with Robb and Grey Wind. But yeah, I'm curious as to what that means metaphorically for Sansa, because do I think it means that she literally dies at the end of the story? I honestly don't know. I don't know if Sansa survives the story or not. But I do think Lady dying is, it's a metaphor for something. I just don't know what. The whole scene of Arya being brought before the king and all of that, Renly was in that scene and he was hilarious. He's like laughing at Joffrey the entire time, and I think Renly 1000% knows Joffrey was the shit stirrer in this case. Like, he looks at Joffrey like a joke. I think Robert doesn't really care any which way, to be honest. I mean, I honestly don't think Robert cares about his kids, not much. Like, yeah, they're my kids, but beyond that, I don't think he's very much invested himself into these children. And as for Cersei, well, yeah, her kids can do no wrong, right? But in this case, in terms of Sansa's part in it, I do think I honestly don't. I guess they changed things just for the surprise of it all, so things are different for the people who read the books and then they watched the show type thing. Like, you know, sometimes they change things, just not necessarily for the sake of the character, but more so for the people who know what knows what happens, and it's something different for them to like see. Because in this case, or in the book's case, Sansa told Ned everything that happened the night it happened. And when Arya goes missing, he's looking for her and he knows the truth. And so he's the one, I forgot who he told to go get. Was it Vaon? I forgot, how do you pronounce Jean Poole's how do you pronounce the girl's father's name? Vayon, 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 I think is how his name is spelled. I don't know if it's Vayon or Jory, but he tells one of his men to go get Sansa when he goes to confront Robert for taking Arya in front of them before bringing her to, you know, her father. So Sansa lies despite the fact that her daddy told her, well, her father clearly knows the truth, and she lies in front of everyone. So I think that was a change up. I don't think it was necessarily for the sake of Sansa's characterization, though. I don't think it really changes much because she lies regardless. And how can I put it? I don't think it changes anything because it doesn't impact Ned's relationship with Sansa. Like just because I don't think it changed anything for Ned just because he brought Sansa in there to tell the truth. She lies, and her father knows she lies. I think it doesn't impact the relationship in the books. It doesn't, like, there's really no big fallout there. So for the sake of, like, I think that's a change. Like, when you make certain changes, it doesn't really affect the characterizations of the relationships. Sansa lying, despite her father bringing her in there to tell the truth, doesn't change the relationship. Sansa lying before Ned even knows anything that happened doesn't change it. Like, the lies lie. Who knows? It doesn't impact the relationship. So I feel like that change, it doesn't really, like, it's okay. Like, I think it's fine that they did that. Like, that doesn't really, I feel like when you make changes that changes the characterization of a character, I feel like those kind of changes are okay to, like, I feel like it's okay to scrutinize changes that impacts a character's core thought process, their values, their moralities, the way they interact with the world. When you start changing those things up that impact their characterization, I feel like that's when I feel like it's okay to scrutinize a writer's choice, or not necessarily writers, the adapter's choice from the source material. I feel like you can kind of evaluate that. Like, for instance, do I think Catelyn being the one to urge Ned to go to the south so that he can become Han, do I think them changing that changes Catelyn up? No, I don't think it does, because later on, when, like, in the books, it's, you know, it's revealed, I think it's in Ned's POV, because you don't actually get their goodbye the way you get it here. I think it's in the aftermath, and I think, is it in Ned's POV that we get that Catelyn begged for him to stay? Like, that she does. Like, yes, at first she wanted him to go, but after Bran got hurt, he still leaves. And I feel like if Ned truly didn't want to go, and he didn't initially, but your son is now hurt, you have far more reason. Like, this, like, okay, so you hear Robert's life is in danger. You hear Jon Arryn's death wasn't, there was foul play. And even those reasons weren't enough for you to, you know, say, you know what, Robert, I'm gonna have to come with you. I have to protect you. These reasons weren't enough. Like, in fact, he hears it and is like, that's even more reason for me not to go. But your son is in a coma. He could very well still die. I mean, yes, Maester Luwin says the worst of it is past, but you don't know that for sure. Like, no, he still very well could die. I feel like that would have been enough reason for him to stay. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked the reaction, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you thought of episode 2 down below, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace